Uh, Hello everyone, good morning. Can anyone confirm audible or not? Yeah. So yesterday where we stopped, yesterday what we discussed. Yesterday we discussed about the flow controls, right? So let me open our workspace folder. So we completed like sequential execution. The next one is like conditional execution also done. The next one is like looping for okay, while loop we completed, but for loop we need to discuss. But let me open our workspace folder first. So let me open Jupyter. So run the Jupyter notebook. Let's take the new notebook for today's session. Okay, I can go with the for loop today. Okay, before go with that one, just recap the things yesterday what we discussed. So if I write the code is like this, while number equals to 10, I want to print number is 10. Can anyone tell me if I run this particular code snippet, what is the error? If I run this code snippet, what is the error? If I run this code snippet, what is the error? Any one of you? If I run this code snippet, what is the error? While number is equals to 10, okay, just print like number is like 10. So if you observe here, while number equals to 10, okay, number is there or not there? Number is there or not there? Number is not there, so that you can get the error is like, okay, number is not defined or not. Number is not defined. This is the error, you can get it. Now, if I do some change like this, let me define the number. A number equals to 10. Now, what is my output? Number is equals to 10. What is my output? You can unmute and talk. What is the output? If I write like this, what is my output? Come on, what is the output? If I run this
Number
one,
is number is 10. We'll get this.
number is 10, will get it. No. Okay, how many times it's going to print?
Infinite.
Infinite times, right? Here number equals to 10, while number is equals to 10. Always the condition is satisfied, like it's like a infinite loop or not. It's like a infinite loop. Okay. Now number is equals to 1. And here I'm going to write something like this. Number is equals to number plus 1. First of all, it is valid syntax or invalid syntax. First of all, it is valid syntax or invalid syntax.
Invalid.
Okay, in Python, it is like, okay, if I write like this, valid or invalid?
Valid.
Okay, it is like 100% valid, right? Okay, this is your while. Whenever this particular condition is like not satisfied, then that time it comes to the else block or not. It is like 100% valid. But if you take like Java or C programming language. Up to here only we can see in the while loop, but there is no else nothing. But in Python, extra thing is like whenever this particular condition is not satisfied, okay, in that case the else block is going to execute. Okay, it is like 100% valid. Okay, yesterday we discussed all this stuff or not. Okay, now if I write something like this, what happened? What is the output it is going to print? What is the output it is going to print? If I execute this particular statement, what is the output?
Done. Else block will be executed. Condition.
First of all, if a number equals to 1, this condition is not satisfied, right? Condition is not satisfied. That's the reason then it's going to execute. Now, if I write like this, now what it's going to print? Now what it's going to print? First number equals to 1, you define the variable. 1 less than 10, condition satisfied. Now it is going to print like what? Number is like a 10 or whatever it is. Okay, just you can say like a VTS. Now here the break is there. Now tell me the functionality of break.
You come out of the loop.
It is terminate from this particular while, right? Okay, done will print or not print? Done it is going to print, not print.
Not right.
Not
Okay,
print.
okay, done will never print. Why? Because it is completely terminated from the while. Okay, here else also as part of while only. Else also as part of while only. That's the reason. Okay, it's not okay print done. It is just terminate this particular while loop iteration and it's come out from that particular execution also or not. While itself, okay, completely come out from the execution. Now instead of break, if I write like continue, what is my answer?
Dan will print.
Only VTS print.
Dan will print.
VTS only.
Yes.
9 times it will print.
Now see here, the condition will never break, right? Condition will never break. What happened here? First, 1 less than 10, print VTS and continue. Continue is nothing but remaining statements will not execute and it is going to iterate the next. Okay, it is go to the next iteration or not. In the next iteration also, this line will not execute. That means 1 less than 10 only. Okay, again print VTS. Again, what happened? Continue means next iteration. 1 less than 10. This particular statement will never execute so that this condition will never fail or not. So that it's a kind of infinite loop only or not. Yes or no? Okay, if I write the condition like this. No? If I write the condition like this now. What is my output? One less than 10. Yes. VTS is going to print or number you can easily number it is going to print. After that, come on. After that, number is equals to 5. No. So that it comes here. Okay, whenever my number is equals to 5, that particular case only, it is not execute this one, right? It is not execute this one and it is going to iterate or not. It is going to iterate or not. Based on that one, it comes like a infinite loop or whatever it is. First, it is going to run like 1, 2, 3, 4. After that, it is entered into infinite loop. Okay, whenever it is like 5, now 5 equals to 5. Continue. So it comes here. Okay, print to 5. Again, 5 equals to 5. Continue or not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is going to print. After that, 5 entered into infinite loop. Every time 5 only it is going to print or not. Yes or no? Agreed with me? First, very simple, right? 1 it is going to print. 1 equals to 5. No. So that 1 equals to 1 plus 1. Okay, so 2. Next, print 2. Condition fail. So 2 plus 1. Whenever number is like 4, 4 plus 1 is like 5. If number equals to 5, continue. Continue means it is not execute any other statements and it is go to the next iteration or not. That time 5 less than 10. Yes, correct. So print 5. Again 5 equals to 5. Continue. Okay, again what happened? 5 less than 10. Yes, print 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 it is going to print. After that 5 continuously it is going to print or not. It is entered into infinite loop. Yes or no? Agreed with me? When it comes to the else block, whenever this condition fail, then only it comes to the else block. But here in this case, okay, this condition will never fail, right? So that it is like an unreachable statement. It is not execute anytime. Agreed? Okay, so for these things we discussed in yesterday's session, right? Okay, what about pass keyword? So far, which keywords we discussed? So for which keywords we discussed? Which keywords we discussed? There has so many keywords, right? Which keywords we discussed so far? Come on. A DEF we discussed or not? Create a function. Next,
Return.
inside this one written also. Next,
If so, sorry.
if else
Else.
elif, right? Elif, elif. Next,
Father. Oh, okay.
while
While.
for we are going to discuss. Next,
Break. Continue.
okay, break also, right? Continue also. Next, pass also. Okay, can anyone tell me why we go for this pass? Pass keyword. Why we go for? I have a condition. Otherwise, I have a function, whatever it is. If you have a function, for example, if I write like this, it is 100% valid. Yes or no? It is 100% valid. But my requirement is what you know. I need a function, but I don't want any statements inside the function. So can I remove this one if you don't want any statement? So now it is valid or invalid? Syntactically, it is valid or invalid? Come on. If you don't want any statements, just I remove that statement. Then the time it is syntactically valid or invalid. If I write like this, print fn, it is like 100% syntactically valid. But my requirement is what? I need a function, but I don't want any statements inside the function. Now I remove that statement. It is syntactically valid or invalid? It is like incomplete, right? So in this case, how we can handle? In this case, how we can handle? I need a function, but I don't want any statements. Empty. Okay, how we can represent? Just you can say like a pass. Now, if you come here, see this. You have a function, but you don't want any statements inside that particular function. Then the time you can go with this pass keyword. Got my point? Okay, same like this. Okay, if true, it is valid or invalid? This particular statement is like valid or invalid?
Valid.
100% valid, right? Okay, this true is there now. This true also what? One keyword only, right? One reserved word only, right? To represent what? Either true or false. Yes or no? If you want to tell some Boolean value representation, how we can tell? By using true or false. So if I write like this condition represents like what? Always, it's like a, this condition is always returns me what? True only or not. Yes or no? So here I don't want any statement. I need one if condition, but at this moment I don't want any statements. Later I want to add it. At this moment I don't want to execute any statements here. Then that time, if you write like this, is it valid syntax or invalid? Again, invalid syntax or not. Okay, now come on, what do you have to do? I don't want any statements, empty statements. How we can represent? Using pass keyword. Now if we come here, now it's like 100% valid or not. Agreed? All are agreed about pass? It is valid or invalid?
Valid.
Valid.
Valid or invalid?
Valid.
See, name false is not defined. Why? Because in Python, see, the reserved word is like what? Capital T R U E, true. Same like this, capital F. If we write like this, then the time it is treated like what? It is treated like a variable. It is treated like a variable which refers some value or not. So here, my false, all are lowercase letters. This is not a reserved word, or it is not representing any value in Python. If you want to represent false value in Python, F should be capital. So it is like what? It is not a reserved word. It's not a predefined value. Now it is going to think like what? It is like a reference. It's like a variable. This false variable, did you define anywhere? False variable or location variable. Now if I write like this simply, what is my output? Come on, what is my output? If I run this one, what is my output? If I run this one, what is my output?
Are not executed.
LOC is not defined, right? LOC is there or not there? LOC is not there. LOC variable is not there. Same like this, if I write like this, false variable is not there. False variable is not there. So that false is not defined or not. If I write like this, now it is like 100% value. Okay, this is not execute, but syntactically 100% it is valid or not. Got my point? Okay, now it is like valid or invalid. Same, syntactically valid or invalid.
Invalid.
True is like what? True is treated like a variable. Is there any variable defined? Is there any variable defined whose name is like true? No, right? So that the output is like what? Name true is not defined. So can I write like this? Valid or invalid? Come on, don't think more, general way.
Valid.
Okay, it's like 100% valid, right? True variable is defined or not? Yes, defined. What is the value of true? Lowercase. What is the value? Capital T R U E. Now, this one is like a valid value in Python or not? It represents what? Positive value. Okay, true. So if true, then the time this block is going to execute or not? Yes or no? Okay. What is my output? What is my output?
L was not defined.
That was defined, right?
Defined.
LOC defined. See this. First, LOC created a variable, right? LOC Mumbai defined. If LOC,
Executed is the output.
okay, see, we have the value, right? We have a value. Mumbai, we have a value. Mumbai is a value. That means something is there. It's like true. Yes or no? That's the reason. If location is there, yes, location is there, right? That's the reason Print executed or not? Yes or no? Now. Now.
Not execute.
Now. Empty string, it's like what? False value. So when you can go with this approach, right? My question is very simple, straight question. If name is there, perform some operation. Name can be anything. If name is there, perform some operation. If name not there, don't perform any operation. In this case, how we can handle? Name is there, perform some operation. Got my point? How we can write the condition? If name is there, do some operation. If name not there, don't do anything. Name can be anything. Name value can be anything. So how we can handle? Come on. First, name. You can write the condition is like name. That's it. Why? Because I don't know exactly name is Sachina, Dhoni, Kohli. It's not. Name is there. That is only my case. The value can be anything. If name is there, then can you perform some operation? Okay, name can be anything. Okay, now it gives me what? Nothing. Why? Because name is not there. Now, if I write like anything, if I write like anything, name is there or not there? Yes, name is there. You can perform some operation or not. Yes or no? If you want to do one check, one variable value there, I want to perform some operation. If not there, don't perform any operation. Then the time, just you can go with this one or not. Agreed? Come on. What is my output? Is it syntactically valid or invalid?
Valid.
Valid.
Syntactically 100% valid. So what's my output?
No.
What's my output?
10.
What's my output? Now you can conclude one statement. In Python, 0 treated like what? 0 treated like what? False representation, right? Any other value, other than 0, anything, that value is like what? True or not? 0 means value not there. Value not there means it's like false. Okay, so if 0 means false. If 0, then the time. Okay, if false, this block will execute or not execute? Not execute. Not execute. Other than this, anything you can put it. Okay, -1. Valid or invalid? 0 only, false. Any other value, it's like what? True only or not. Agreed? Got my point? In Python, 0 means false. Any other value, it's like treated like a true only or not. Okay? What's my output? Is it valid syntax or invalid syntax? First tell me. Is it valid syntax or invalid syntax? Come on. Is it valid syntax or invalid syntax?
Valid.
100% valid. What is my output?
No.
What is my output? In Python, none value means none means no value. In Python, none means no value. No value. Okay. In which case we are going to use none, you know. For example, my requirement is I want to create a variable with the value of Dhoni. So how we can create a variable with the value of Dhoni? How we can create a variable with the value of Dhoni? Okay. Player name. Okay. Is my variable name. The value is what? Dhoni. This is 100% valid syntax or not? Yes or no? 100% valid syntax or not? Why this is like giving me an error? Unterminated string, right? See, you starts with what? Double quote. You ends with what? Single quote. That is invalid. So if you start with double quote, you have to end with double quote only. Another way, if I start with single quote, you have to end with what? Single quote only. Okay, at the time of string, okay, string, we have a separate concept is that there we can learn. The next one is like, is it valid syntax or not for string representation? Double, now it is like triple. Valid or invalid? In Python, 100% valid. 100% valid. Now say this. Okay, done. That's okay, fine. My question is, I want a variable with no value. I want a variable with no value. Okay, so how we can define a variable with no value? With Dhoni, simply you define like this: variable name and the variable value. But my question is what? I want a variable with no value. I don't want any value. Empty string also value only. I don't want any value in that case. Okay, if you write like this simply, it is gives me an error. Okay, it gives me an error. If I write like this, my variable syntax is what? Variable name and initial value or not. If I write like this, it gives me name A is not defined. If you want a variable with no value, the no value representation is what in Python? None. The no value representation is what in Python? None. Got my point? See, A is not printing anything. A value is like what? None or not. Agreed? So my none also one of the keyword in your Python. Got a point? So can we add that one also? Okay, true, false, and none also. Appear okay, everyone? Appear okay, everyone? Okay, let's go with the next one is like for loop. For loop. Okay, now my requirement is like very simple. Okay, I want to print 1 to 10 numbers only using for loop. Using for loop. Okay, tell me different data types in Python. First question is like, do we have any data type for the variable? Are we mention any type for the variable in Python? Are we mention any type? See, you created a variable. Did you mention any type in Java, in C, in string like this? Did you mention anything? No, right? No. Okay. Now we don't have any type for the variable, but the data what we have, based on the data, we can tell this is like a string type, this is like a integer type, this is like a Boolean type. Yes, no? We don't have any type for the variable, but based on the data, we can mention the type or not. Tell me different data types, what you know. One is like int,
Integer.
another one is like string, another one is like
Number.
Boolean. The next one, list. The next one, set. The next one, tuple. The next one, dictionary. These all are like different data types. There or not there? We already discussed or not? When you can go with that particular variable also. Yes, no? We have one more data type also there. That is called as a range also there. Range. Okay, range. Range. This is also one predefined, okay, data type to represent some data. List is there. We are going to represent what? Multiple values in a single variable, right? Dictionary is there. If you want to represent something about one person, one bus, one particle, one vehicle, yes or no? Same like this here also, range is like a one data type which is used for what? To represent, okay, some data. Which kind of data? We'll see that. So let's go with the requirement. What is our requirement? By using for loop, just I want to print 1 to 10 numbers. That's it. That is my requirement. So first of all, syntax. For loop syntax is what? Already we discussed like while loop syntax, right? Same like this. What is my for loop syntax? Can anyone guess? For loop syntax. Okay, while loop syntax is what? Simple. First initialization, right? Initialization. The next one is like while. The next one is like what? Condition. Condition satisfied. Next one is like what? Block of statements. You can write it. Okay, here you have to do like what? Increment or decrement. If you want any else condition also, you can do that here. Yes or no? This is my simple while loop syntax or not. Same like that, I want like a for loop syntax. Same like that, I want like a for syntax. Okay, very simple. We have a keyword called as what? For, right? For. Okay, here see, first you initialize the value, right? Okay, after that, what you did? Okay, you are doing like what? Increment that particular value based on the condition. Based on the condition, you are doing like what? Based on the condition. If the condition is satisfied, then the time it comes to the block or not. This is like a while, but for loop is like something different. First of all, I want to print 1 to 10 numbers, right? First, get the numbers list, the sequence. Okay, 1 to 10 numbers. Okay, 1 to 10 numbers. You can represent with one variable. All the members you can keep inside one variable. That variable may be list type or tuple type or set type or whatever it is. Okay, this is my sequence. All the input values here. Now, first time I want to take the first value inside this sequence. Okay, I want to take like a first value. I want to take like a first value. Once you have that value, what you want me to do as per my requirement? As per my requirement, what do you want me to do? Just print that value. That's it. Print that value. In this particular requirement, I want to print 1 to 10 numbers. That's it. So for loop, if you use for loop, first of all, data representation. Where is your data? First, get the data. The data is this one, the sequence. Okay, the multiple. You can represent a group of variables in a single variable, group of members in a single variable, using list, using set, using tuple, using range also. First, you can get the input values. First, get the input values. 10 input values are there. First iteration I want to get inside this particular sequence. You can get the first value. If the value is there, you can print it. Like this, for example, in the sequence, 5 values are there. First time, first value, second time, second value, like that. Okay, after 5, sixth value is not there. So that simply it is coming out of your loop or not. It's a kind of, okay, just terminate the loop. Okay, the condition is not satisfied, like that you can understand. So for is the keyword. The group of members, you can get it. You can represent by using list, set, tuple, or range, whatever it is. Okay, 10 numbers are there. 10 times it is going to iterate. First time, first one, second one, third one, like that. 10 numbers iterated, 10 times iterated. 11th iteration, there is no member, so that it is going to break and come out of your loop. That's it. So can you execute this one? Now here we have a for. Okay, I need like a sequence of numbers. For example, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. These are the sequence of numbers. This data is coming from anywhere, from the database in future, the data, list of values coming from database, think like that. Now, inside this list, first time, first value, you can get it. Once you get the first value, can you print that value? Can you print that value? Second time, second value. Third time, third value. Fourth time, like this. 5 iterations, 5 values printed. For my next iteration, there is no value, nothing. So that it is coming out of your loop or not. Okay, you can say like a for in loop. Yes or no? Now the same requirement. Okay, in the while you did like 1 to 10 numbers, right? Same like this, you can do it. For, okay, I need a group of values, 1 to 10 number. Okay, 1 to 10 values I want. If you want to represent a group of values, group of numbers in that particular range, you can go with the range. Okay, in this range, first iteration, first value, you can get it. Second iteration, second value, like that. All the iterations, how many iterations it is going to? 9 iterations. Okay, if you want 1 to 10 numbers, then the time you can go with this. Now 1 to 10 numbers, 10 iterations is going to iterate, and the next iteration there is no value, nothing in this particular range. 1 to 10 in between the range. Okay, there is no value, so it is coming out of your loop or not. Understood, everyone? So for good, how the for loop is going to work in Python? First, the group of members, you can get it. Group of members, you can get it as a list format, as a set format, as a tuple format, as a range also. Now you used here list, right? Here you used like what, range, right? Can you use the tuple? Will it work or not work? Can you check it? Okay, how the tuple syntactically how it looks like, we not discussed so far about the tuple. Okay, but syntactically how it looks like, everyone knows or not? With these braces, this is come under tuple or not? Now if I click on this one, yes. The next one is what? Group of members represented within a single variable. Next member is what? Come on, what is this one? This curly braces representation is what? Set,
Set.
right? Set or not? So here see, you mentioned in the syntax, it's a sequence. Okay, sequence is nothing but a group of members, we can say. The group of members, if you want to represent in a single variable, that can be list. Group of members, if you want to represent only numbers only, see, list you can represent Sachin, Dhoni, Kohli also, but only numbers. If you want to play the range in between 10 to 20 numbers I want, then that time you can go with range. It is only work with numbers only. In that particular range, if you want to get it, you can get by using range. Now here this one also come under sequence only. Now here you can see the tuple also come under sequence only. Here set also come under sequence only or not. So the for loop, if you want to use, first of all get the data representation, get the members first in the list or set or tuple or range. Okay, from that particular one, how many members are there, that many iterations you can see. And first iteration, second iteration, all the iterations are done. Okay, it is reach maximum length of this particular sequence. Okay, it is terminated from that particular loop. Got my point? Understood the syntax? Okay, now here then what happened? Then what happened? What is my output? What is my output?
Till 5.
Whenever it's like
break.
reaches 5, it is like break, right? Okay,
Yeah.
how the break is going to work for while, the same way it is going to work for also or not?
Yes.
Yes or no? Now, is it valid or invalid syntax? In Python for loop, it is valid or invalid syntax? 100% valid. Whenever it is like break, the for loop, entire for loop, now the for loop, not only this one, else also come under for only or not? It is terminate the execution of the for loop or not? Total execution, total for loop is like terminated or not? Yes or no? So that if it is terminated whenever the value is like 5, it's else block execute or not execute? Not execute. Got my point? Now if I remove this one, what is my output? If I remove this one, what is my output? Done will print or not print?
Not.
Print, right? Why? Because now you not terminate that particular loop manually using break, right? Okay, whenever the value, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 printed, okay, fifth value is not there, my loop is like what? Terminated or not? Whenever it is like terminated, okay, see, you not manually terminated by using break. It is like actually my range, my sequence is like what? My sequence 4 values are there, 4 iterations are completed. It is like what? My condition is not satisfied. Whenever my condition is not satisfied, it is like what? It is not manually you terminate the loop. You not manually terminate the loop by using break. It is like what? Actually, how many iterations are required? That many iterations completed, it is come out from the loop. Once this particular condition is not satisfied, then that time it comes to the else block. So my done is going to print or not. Okay, but if you write like break, then what happened? It is terminate the execution. Entire for loop execution is terminated. So that's the reason my for and else all are like come out of the execution or not. It is not execute again. Got my point? Here you not terminate. My condition not satisfied. That's it. Agreed? Go on. Now wait. Now what is my output? Now what is my output? Come on, what is my output?
I think it is 2 and done.
2 and done. No,
Only done will be print.
only done. How we can say only done? Now see what happened. First time, okay, first value, right? First value is like what? 1. Val is equals to 2. Condition satisfied or not satisfied?
Not satisfied.
Not satisfied. So that this particular continue not execute. This block to this particular column, this particular statement belongs to that block or not? Yes or no? Based on the indentation, you can see continue is belongs to if only, right? Okay, don't think like continuous belongs to for loop or something. See here, the indentation is important. Okay, if value is like 2, okay, this is my block started. Here the indentation followed what? Only continue, not print. Print is belongs to this block. Continuous belongs to if block. Yes, no? Come on. If value equals to 2, what is my value first time? 1. 1 equals to 2. No. So that this particular block will not execute. Print value. What is my value? 1. 1 printed.
1.
The next iteration is like what? 2. Value. Value equals to 2. Yes, satisfied. That's the reason continue. Continue is always go to the next iteration. It is stop the execution and continue the next iteration. So that whenever it is like continue executed, it is stop the execution of this line and go to the next iteration or not. So value equals to 2. Then the time my 2 printed or not printed? Not printed. Why? Because it is the it is go to the next iteration or not. So whenever it go to the next iteration, what is my value? 3. 3 equals to 2. No. So that print 3. Next 4. 4 equals to 2. No. 4 printed. So my iterations done. Whenever my for loop condition not satisfied, if the else is there, that else is going to execute or not. Why? When my else is not execute, if you terminate manually by using break, but you not use any break, right? That the reason 1, 3, 4 printed and then done printed or not. Agreed? Come on. All are okay?
Yes, yes. We got it. Yes.
Second. If I write like this, what happened? So if I write like this, what is my output? Hmm? One think.
1 to 4 and then print.
1 to
1
4.
and then print.
Say what I said, pass. Pass means no statement, nothing. So what happened? First time 1. Condition satisfied or not? Not satisfied. Print 1. Next time is what? Condition satisfied or not? Satisfied. Pass means what? No statement. So condition satisfied, the statement executed, nothing is there. That's okay, fine. You not break, you not continue. That's pass is nothing but no statement. So that here, okay, no statements, nothing. That's okay, fine. Okay, now you continued, no. You break, no. So that as usual remaining statement executed, right? Print val. What is my val? 2. Executed or not? Next one is like what? 3. 3 equals to 2. No. So that print 3. Next 4. My iteration is completed. Finally, my condition not satisfied. So that my done executed or not. Pass means no statements. It is not break. It is not continue. Agreed? Come on.
Yes.
Okay. Okay then. Now let me show you the next nested loops. Okay. Nested loops. You can write syntactically one for loop can contains any number of loops or not. No problem at all. Syntactically 100% valid. Okay, it's a kind of nested loops. Okay, you can take it simply. Okay, some values you can take. My values equals to okay like this 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay, 4 comma 5 comma 6. Okay, can anyone tell me what is the type of my values? How we can find the type in Python? How we can find the type of the variable in Python?
Type keyword.
By using type, right? By using type.
Yes.
Type, what is that? Values or not? What is my output? Can anyone guess? What is my output?
List.
It's a list, right? It's a list type or not? Okay, done. Now my requirement is very simple. Just I want to print like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. I want to print it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. If I write like this, tell me the syntax for loop. For from the sequence. Sequence is nothing but what? Either list, set, tuple, range. So here we have the sequence there or not there? Yes or no? There. So inside that sequence, first time you can get the first value. Can anyone tell me what is the type of VAL?
List.
What is the type of VAL? List, right? List. First time, first value. See here. Top level, there has two elements only, two values only there. First value is like what? List 1, 2, 3. Second value is what? List 4, 5, 6 or not? First time, first value is like what? 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6. Second time, 4, 5, 6 or not? I don't want like this. I want to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. I want to print it. So here my VAL is which type? You said VAL is list, right? Okay, so if you have a list, that means you have a sequence. If you have a sequence, can we get the data from the sequence using what? Come on, using for loop, right? So from which sequence you want me to get it? From val sequence, right? So inside that val sequence, you can get like what? Okay, whatever v or whatever you want, you can keep it. Now here, can I print v? Yes or no? Now syntactically, it is valid or invalid?
Valid.
Okay, 100% valid. One for loop is there inside this one. There has one more for loop is there. This is like a inner for loop. You can say like a inner for loop. Whenever my outer loop satisfied, then the time it comes to the inner. Inner, all iterations are completed, inner loop. Then only again it go to the outer one or not. Now you can see once it is done. See how it is going to work. See, first time value is how many? Values is which type? A list type. First iteration, first value comes here. What is my first value? List of 1, 2, 3 or not. So the block is going to execute my for loop. Yes. Okay. First time, first value. Now here, okay, we not print anything. Again, one more for loop is there. So that is like a inner loop. Now here VAL is which type? VAL. My first values is nothing but this one. First iteration, first value is what? 1, 2, 3. So my VAL is like 1, 2, 3 or not. 1, 2, 3 is which type? Again, list, right? So that it's a sequence. So you can get like what? First iteration 1, second iteration 2, third iteration is like 3. So 1, 2, 3 printed or not. Once my inner for loop, all iterations are completed, then only to go to again our outer for loop or not. If I go to again outer for loop, what is my second value? 4, 5, 6 or not? Yes or no? So my 4, 5, 6 is which type? Val sequence. So that again by using for loop, I taken like what? 4, 5, 6. All the iterations completed of inner for loop, then only to go to the outer one. So 2 iterations done. The third element there or not there? Not there. So that once it is outer for loop terminated, it is not go to the inner for loop. It is coming out of your execution or not. Got my point? Agreed, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay then. Okay, remaining things we'll see in tomorrow's session. So can you complete all this stuff? Go to Python. Okay, first one. Okay, introduction, installation done. You all completed, right? Installation. 5 environments we discussed, right? Coding introduction, naming convention, variables and data types. Okay, you can complete it. Control structures and functions, first part you can complete. Okay. Tomorrow we'll see the operators, input and output, and function. Second part is important. Second part you will see. After that, okay, the sequence data types is there, right? String, range, list, tuple, individual. Each and every data type has their own functions. Okay, those functions we can see. Once it is done, the important concept we can start with. Oops. Okay, this is the sequence order. Like this only we are going to discuss all the topics. Okay, na? So for what we discussed, just complete from your end. Okay.
Okay.
Okay then. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Bye.
Thank you.